I bought one property 10 years ago through my friend who was going to Bulgaria. I gave him $4.5 grand and said, while you're there, get one for me. I've still never been to Bulgaria. I've never seen my house that I bought. Yet, I made 200 grand from selling a book about how you buy property in Bulgaria. Okay? So don't think you need to be an expert in something. Okay? Now, I'm not saying that's got no value. That's a well-researched book. I spent 2 weeks full-time researching that. And everything in that book came for free from Google. I love Google. It's great. So any of you guys could have read that book, right? It's like, but we can all write a book on anything, can't we? If I gave any of you a subject and gave you Google, said, right, write me a book on this, you couldn't do it. It's not hard, just like we're not used to doing it. So that's just some of the orders racking up. Started making 400 quid a day from that first book, selling 20 copies at £20 a copy. So obviously liked that idea, so I did a few more. So next one I did was Croatia, because it's around the corner from Bulgaria. I realised that Brits were writing Croatia as well. So did Croatia, Slovakia, Slovenia, and a load of other countries I never went to. I never bought properties in. But I just researched and found all the right stuff from the right experts and put it in a book. You can do that, can't you? That's alright. Who's been to university? Who's posh? Quick show of hands. A couple of you, a few, I'm posh, but I don't like it being there. Okay, so anyone who's been to university, they have to do these things called dissertations. Okay? Right? This is like a dissertation. All a dissertation is like research the hell out of a subject and write a book on it, write a paper on it, and at the end of the dissertation you list a thing called the bibliography, which is all the people that you stole stuff from to write your stuff, right? It's the same kind of idea, except I didn't have to write the bibliography. Yeah, I didn't have to actually fess up and say who I borrowed ideas from. Because as long as you write it in your own words, I'm not saying like steal other people's stuff, rewrite it in your own words, take other people's knowledge and process it, assimilate it, add your own spin to it, make a product. So that's what I did. So I started with property investment guides, and I diversified through all sorts of different stuff, so I won't bore with you all the things I've done. But basically I've done 10 million quid in the last 10 years, started with information products on property investment, and I've done business startup guides, I've done stuff from growing bonsai trees to yoga, to car mechanics, to plastering walls, to bricklaying, all sorts of stuff. How to start your own cleaning business, real mixture of stuff, membership sites as well. And that's how I made millions and millions and millions out of the internet. And that little dot there is me on stage at the London O2 Arena, speaking to 8,000 entrepreneurs at the biggest entrepreneurial event that's ever been put on in Europe. It's kind of cool, isn't it? So that's alright, and these are the people I get to share the stage with. So I've shared the stage with Tony Robbins, Richard Branson, Brian Tracy, Lord Alan Sugar, James Caan, even President Clinton. So I now get to speak on the same stage as these guys, talking about being an entrepreneur and internet marketing, and sharing my story and what I've learned along the way. So what I set up after a few years of doing this was actually Internet Business School, because I realised that I found out that anyone actually could be a successful business person. What Tony was just talking about was, this is one of those golden opportunities in time. Anyone can start a business, and I started my business from the spare room in my house with just an internet connection and a laptop that BT gave to me when I left. Thank you, BT, I love you. And that's how I got started. There was no startup capital, just a computer and an internet connection. That's all I needed to do to research, to write that Bulgarian book, to create a web page to start selling it from. And now I run classes because the first person I taught actually about internet marketing was the drummer in my band. Remember that band I showed you? Well, the drummer's a guy called Rick, and Rick asked me after a few months of starting my business what I was doing, because he would come along to band practice and he realised that I didn't go to work anymore, and after 3 months there was a new Porsche on the drive, and then I bought a brand new Range Rover, and then the builders turned up and they built a 7-room extension on my house. I was like, dude, what are you doing? Where are you getting those cash from? And I think he thought it was like drug dealing or something. He didn't really know what was going on. So I just sat down with him and showed him what I did. And I explained to him that model, so I'll show you a slide for him. But these are some of the results of people that I teach now, because I believe that anyone, if they just learn to leverage the internet, can make a massive amount of money. So these are some of my students that, this lady was a beauty therapist who just decided to set up a beauty therapy training school. So she teaches people how to apply permanent makeup. She's making 30,000 quid a month, okay? Now here is Rick. Rick is the guy that was the drummer in my band. So he was a firefighter at the time for Kent Fire and Rescue Service, and I sat down with him and showed him this model I had of creating information products and selling online. So I said to him, why don't you write a book about becoming a firefighter? So he did a guide on becoming a firefighter because he knew all about that. That sold really well. So then he did become a policeman and become a paramedic, because those guys meet all day long. And he's now done 150 different career guides. Has he had 150 different careers? He's had 2. He was in the Royal Navy and then in the Fire Brigade. So how did he write the other ones? Like me, he figured out how. So he either found someone that knew about it, or he researched the hell out of it himself, like on Google. Yeah, Google's great. Google's written some of these guides with him. And that's how he's done 150 different guides. Or he put himself out there and actually applied for some of the jobs. So he applied to become a prison officer, went to all the interviews, wrote down all the questions he got asked when he came out, and that's how he wrote a guide on how do you get a job as a prison officer. So he got offered a job as a prison officer. So that now qualifies him to write the guide on how do you get the job. Because he got the job. Yeah, he didn't take it out, but he got it. Now, really cool thing for me is he entered himself for the, I know we're at RBS, no West, but he entered himself for the HSBC, so I'm spitting in here probably. Startup Stars Entrepreneur of the Year Award using my business model. I went and bloody won it. So I'm still bitter about that. He got 2 trophies and he gave me 1, so I'm not too bitter. But that's just an example of what you can do. Rick's done £3.5 million now, so we are the richest tribute band in the UK. We've got 2 millionaires, like 50% of the band members are millionaires. There's no other tribute band like that. This is just when I was going to the course, just a mobile hairdresser who quadrupled her business in just a few months. And she did that by just focusing on wedding hair, because after chatting to me, she realised where the money was doing hair for weddings. So she just concentrated on getting wedding customers. She could get much bigger customers, and a very few customers would make a big difference. She's now the biggest wedding hair expert in Kent, and cleans up because she went to #1 on Google, gets all the business. This is another student of mine who does djembe drumming lessons online, and just using YouTube, he's got 500,000 people watching his videos and learning how to play the djembe drum, and he's won African Achiever of the Year Award. Now, remember that hobby? Remember me playing in pubs for 100 quid 10 years ago? I know I still look the same now, but... Well, here's some more pictures. That little dot up there is me with the same 4 guys, but playing to a slightly bigger audience than like 70, 80 people. If you ever watched the V Festival on the telly, that's Highlands Park in Chelmsford. That's the same stage. It was actually a week before V Festival. It was another festival going on at Highlands Park, but it was as good as playing V. And an awesome buzz, the biggest buzz I ever got in my life, was singing Fix You by Coldplay to 40,000 people, and they bought the blinders, and having them singing that back at me was just like priceless. That's me in BBC Radio Studios doing a live session of the band. That's me featuring the Sun newspaper. That's one of our tour posters. But this is a picture I love. This is me getting a standing ovation at the London O2 Arena. That's the biggest arena in Europe. That's my band getting a standing ovation. In fact, I say that's my band. This is Rick I was just telling you about. This is Dan and Steve. This guy's not even in the band. But it's alright, he's not a random stranger. It's not like one of those football pitches where some fan just runs on and pretends he's in the team. This guy actually rents an office off me. And what I love about my business now is that you can make other people's dreams come true. So this guy is a professional musician, and he actually does music for TV adverts. So he goes to people like BP and Shell and Land Rover. When I told him I was playing the O2, I could see his face light up for me. He was like, wow, that's amazing. I said, come along. Let's have 2 guitarists that day. No one will care. So he came along and just played second guitar for us. But he's now got that picture on his mantelpiece, and he can show his kids and his grandkids. That's the day I got a standing ovation at the O2 Arena. It's pretty cool, isn't it? So how much to give that gift to someone that's priceless? Just the decision that I made to give that gift to someone, and that's like an awesome thing. So that's kind of why I'm here. It's about making people's dreams come true. Now for me, I'm an old kid. Some of you might remember this, but there was a TV show in the early 90s called The Darling Buds of May. Your parents will tell you about it. But you've probably heard of this lady, Catherine Zeta-Jones. This is the TV show that made her famous. Okay, she came on the TV, it was the biggest show of all time. It was like the Downton Abbey of the 90s. And it ran for 3 series, I think 3 consecutive years. And this is David Jason, I'm sure you recognise him, Del Boy, Pam Ferris. And I I love that TV show, and that barn that I showed you, that place that I bought, was half a mile from where they filmed The Darling Buds of May. And that's why I bought that place, because it's like right in the middle of the Kent countryside. I'm from Kent, at least I'm from a town in Kent, but I love the countryside. So I bought that barn because it was close, and I just wanted to like get a little bit of that magic of this lifestyle that they had out in the countryside. Everything was perfect. And then last year, the actual farm where they filmed it came up for sale. And I've been to this farm because every year there's a car show that opens for one day a year, do a classic car show. And I've been to the car show when I live right near there. And I thought, how sad this farm's like falling away, going to wreck and ruin. And I thought, wouldn't it be wonderful like if the owner just turned it into a holiday destination or something like that? How cool would that be? So, because I could, I went and bought it. So I bought the farm, and I'm now in the process of turning it into a holiday destination. And I've got a car show once a year. This is my back garden. How cool is that? I love cars, you might notice. And I get a classic car show in my back garden every year. 10,000 people come, and we raised £22,000 for charity this year, just for running the car show and charging people to come in and look at these classic cars. How cool is that? We had 1,000 classic cars. So life is good, and you know, these are the things. You know, Tony was saying it's not all about money, because that's like, it's an emotional thing for me. It's not about money. It's giving 22 grand for charity. But for me, that's like one of those moments, just like, oh, waking up, just looking out, and I've got 10,000 people in my back garden with smiles on their faces. They're all having a great day in the countryside, in the sunshine, all looking at these amazing cars. What price to give 10,000 people happiness for the day? And you raise money for charity as well. That's what it's all about. Just, you know, some crazy things that happen in the next few weeks. This is me. No, this is me with Photoshop on my head. You know, it's obviously this is not the real me, but that's what they do in magazines, right? So that's allowed. So next month I'm the cover boy, poster boy of Making Money magazine. I'm speaking at Oxford University to the Entrepreneurial Society, and next Saturday, look who I've got dinner with. President Bill Clinton, his missus, and Chelsea. That's all right, isn't it? It's not bad for that boy from Gravesend, is it? But, you know, Saturday night I used to be at McDonald's. Yeah, that's just some of the stuff that's happening to me. So I run Internet Business School. It's an internet marketing training company. It's one of my businesses. I've actually got 9 businesses now, but they're all internet based. And the reason I'm here really is just to share. You know, through my work at Internet Business School, I had a lot of entrepreneurs come through the courses, a lot of young entrepreneurs. In fact, one of my first employees that I took on came on a 3-day course with me. He was a recent graduate. And he was so blown away, he said, I'll come and work for you for nothing. I just want to learn more about this stuff. So, that's really great of you, but I can't have you working for nothing. It's not fair. You've got a job on like 20 grand a year. I'm not going to like let you come work for nothing. But I started a new bit of my business which needed staff. So I'll tell you what, I can see you're passionate about this, you know, and one of the things I've learned is recruit for attitude, not aptitude. It's not important about the degree, it's more important about the attitude, as Tony was saying. So I gave him a job, and I've had Ali, that's him there, he's in the picture, he's at the back there, it's this guy right back now. And you know, I had a lot of young people come through the course, and what I love about young people is they're passionate and they're just go-getters and they're doers. So now I'm working with Tony, obviously with Urban Voice. I'm working with Young Enterprise, which is an organisation actually that I was on the receiving end of. So it's great to go full circle and give back, because 30 years ago, that's hard to believe, 30 years ago, when I was at school, there was this thing called Young Enterprise. You haven't heard of it. It's basically like an after-school club, and they get business owners from the local area to run a group, and they get a little group of kids together that want to go to this business club, and you start a business, and you create a product, and you sell it. And it runs for a couple of terms, I think. And you learn about, you know, raw materials and cost and profit and loss and everything. And it was great for me, and maybe that sowed a little seed in my mind, aged 11, that I'd like to run a business one day, because it was fun. And we made these like bookends and egg cup holder things, and it was great. And we made money, and we sold to our parents and relatives, and it was really fun. So I'm working with them. I'm working with universities now, speaking at different universities and encouraging the next generation of entrepreneurs. So that's me, that's why I'm here. So hopefully you found that inspirational. It's real, you know, you can make it happen. And yeah, so listen to what Tony says and get on board and just take some action. Thank you very much.